Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome to an update video. This is not being recorded in quite the same way as the previous update that I was doing. It's something of a test as well. I'm just seeing how things are sounding right now. You can probably tell that there is at least not as much audible echo. The reason why is because I'm much closer to my microphone. There are a lot of things that are going to be changed and updated, and I will go over that in this recording. I'm actually here hunting right now. This is a live commentary. It's not literally live as in I'm live streaming, but I am speaking while I'm playing. I'm currently hunting with one of the new Huntsdiverse deputies and Zach himself. So, oh yeah, that's right, I'm supposed to get this ugly chat thing off my screen. Just one moment. Alright. So that ugly chat button in the corner, I usually don't have the chat enabled, precisely so that I don't have it on the screen while I'm recording, and end up forgetting that it's there, because obviously if it's always there, you don't even notice it. And then by the time you've noticed it, you've got a bunch of recordings where it's on the screen and it's ugly as hell, and yeah. I mean, perhaps one would argue that if you have reached the point where you don't even notice it being there, what's so bad about it? Well, everything's bad about it, okay? As human beings, we can adapt to things you wouldn't believe. And one of them is indeed that very ugly chat button on the PPSSPP emulator. I'm not talking to them through there anyway, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm just playing in Portable Third randomly right now. I think one of the last gold crowns that Zack needs in this game is Kurapeko, so we're fighting Kurapeko. I actually don't know what the quest is, if it's like double Kurapeko or double... Well, one regular Kurapeko, one Crimson. I actually haven't checked. I will check now. It is... Oh, it is just the regular Kurapeko hunting quest. I actually thought that it was a different quest because I'm not used to seeing Kurapeko start in this area. I was thinking that that was somehow indicative of the fact that there was a second one spawning in Area 7. But that is not the case. Now, what is the first thing that I would like to say? I guess the first thing in regards to the update video that I'd like to cover is the fact that I will be resuming very soon. I do apologize for the delay. It is not a delay that oh god, look at that terrible lag, I suppose is the only way to describe it. But yeah, why is Zach going combo greatsword? I know he usually plays like first generation, but that doesn't mean you can suddenly start going combo greatsword in Portable Third. Whatever. I think he said that he was live streaming, so I don't feel bad recording this and displaying his ineptitude with greatsword. But anyway, or even showcasing rather than displaying. I would be tempted to kill Purple Ludroth, but I'm using ice and that just doesn't feel quite right. I don't like going for invading monsters unless I have a weapon that feels somewhat appropriate for it. Anyway, I mean this would still work, it's just not designed for monsters like Purple Ludroth. Now, I can't give a precise ETA. I don't know when I'm going to be able to resume recording, but it is soon. The reason why is because there is only one more thing for me to do before I can actually start recording. There are technically two things for me to do, but the second thing can wait. The second thing is me getting a new green screen. I can use my old one. It's not going to be as good, but as far as you guys are concerned, it should roughly look the same. So yeah, while it's not going to be all that comfortable for me, and I'm going to have to mess around with my camera positioning so that the old green screen that I did have will actually function properly as a working green screen for my setup, it'll look the same for you, so I can actually record. The first and most important thing, indeed the main requisite acquisition needed for actually resuming my recording, is a windscreen for my microphone. It will function as a pop filter. It will allow me to put my microphone really close to my mouth and speak directly into it. I am currently doing that now, but at an angle. My voice is not actually going directly into the diaphragm. It's very close to it, extremely close to it, but it's not going directly into it. I want to go directly into it, but yeah, can't do that unless I have a windscreen attached to it to prevent the plosives from causing rather unpleasant sounds to be broadcast. So, oh sorry Zach, he's going for a capture I think. Presumably. Is he throwing tranks or like, oh yeah he is. That looked pretty funny actually. Yeah, FYI, Zach really doesn't like 3rd gen. 2nd gen was the last generation of Monster Hunter that he enjoyed. I mean, perhaps it would be unfair to say that, because I don't think he has much experience with playing Tri or 3 Ultimate. But he really, really doesn't like Portable 3rd. For a number of reasons. Which is fine. I mean, I guess everyone has to find their threshold when it comes to enjoying a Monster Hunter game. You know, how much can it change from where it started until you're not having fun anymore? There is definitely a percentage of people in the Monster Hunter community for whom 3rd generation was a step too far. And I have to respect that. Because there are too many people that I agree with on many things that just can't play 3rd gen. So I think that really legitimizes their opinions. For me, of course. I mean, I'm not saying that my opinion or their opinion is somehow undisputable fact, but as you would imagine, if we share opinions, I can probably appreciate other viewpoints that they have that I might not necessarily have myself. Anyway, that was a bit of a rambling thing for me to... It was a rambling subject for me to go on, and that is also a weird final screen. But, anyway. In regards to the windscreen for the microphone, and in regards to the fact that I now have to use the microphone much closer to my face, I'm going to try to explain this in fairly in-depth detail. I'm sure I will do it live at some point, probably in my first recording that I'll do when I return, which will likely either be 3 Ultimate or Generations Ultimate, depending on whether or not I can actually get a group together to play with in 3 Ultimate when I do intend to record it. Now, the situation with the reverberance, or rather the, I'll use a simple term, when I say reverberance, I'm basically talking about the loud noise created by my voice echoing and reflecting off the surfaces of my rather large and open space within which I'm currently recording. That is problematic. Quite problematic. The only way that I can actually, at this stage, counterbalance that rather annoying sound that is created by the echo, it is an echo effectively, the only way that I can actually, or rather counteract that, we could say counterbalance, counteract, whatever, is by forcing my voice into the microphone so fulsomely and so directly that that's all you can hear, my direct voice. So I have to speak right into the microphone. Now, a question that you might have is why I didn't do that originally. Well, as you can imagine, it's not as comfortable to have a microphone directly in your fucking face when you're trying to play a video game, versus having it somewhat distant from your mouth, but still very clearly registering everything you're saying, and obviously with no real loss of quality to the voice that's being picked up by said microphone. The only way that that is possible, you know, having the microphone sort of far away from the mouth, but still having... Sorry, I just realized that I had pulled myself away from the microphone out of sheer habit. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit annoying now that I think about it. I'll have to really force myself to get in close. That's my only option for this to work. But yeah, the only way that that can work, being far away from the microphone, is if your voice is not reflecting off the surfaces in the space that you're in a negative fashion. Because the further the microphone is away from the direct sound source, the more room noise is going to be picked up. The room noise in my previous recording environment was alright, it's not great. I mean, any acoustician would walk in there and say, this needs acoustic treatment immediately. But that would be for professional recording purposes, or for other such things. You know, like, there are many reasons why you would want to acoustically treat a room outside of professional recording, but in the case of that room that I was recording in before, it was fine. It wasn't like this room, which is echoey as all hell. But yeah, there is a solution. Unfortunately, I will have to be right up on the mic. And what that is going to actually affect is the way in which I position my camera. Now, if my microphone is directly in front of me, and I'm speaking directly into it, I can't really have the webcam pointing directly at me. Now, I had taken a bit of a journey with my webcam positioning. I started off having it very much to the side of my face, and then I brought it directly in front of me, and somewhat recently, like within the last, say, 5 months or so, I've actually taken to angling it slightly off to the side again, but not quite as hard as I used to. I'm going to have to experiment a little bit. I don't know how much I'm going to have to move it to the side of my face in order to not have the microphone covering my face in the webcam, or on the webcam, but it may very well be necessary for me to turn it back to where it was when I was first going live. I really don't know yet. Again, that is going to be the subject of experimentation, but my hope is that I don't have to angle it too much to the side, because it doesn't feel as intimate, and making eye contact with my audience, with you guys, making eye contact with the webcam while speaking into the microphone becomes a whole lot more awkward, obviously. So, yeah, like literally I'd have to either turn my neck weird or stare into the corners of my eyes to be able to look at it. It's just dumb. It's not going to work all that well. Of course, I will make that sacrifice if that is the way in which I need to be heard without awful echo in the background. But, yeah, my feeling is that it's not going to be as good as it once was visually. If you recall, one of the first things that I said in my original update to say that I was moving from where I used to live to somewhere new, what I said was, my hope is that I can replicate my previous recording setup and perhaps even improve upon it, but I always wanted to at the very least be able to replicate the quality and not have something that was actually worse. I don't know if that's going to be possible. We'll have to find out. Unfortunately, Agrius disconnected. My connection to Sapphire, who is the host, is not so great either. So, there you go. Where is my fucking... Not Farcast, shit. Why did I just use a Farcast? I'm a real idiot. I mean, it's not the end of the world. This might actually help. In fact, that was entirely intentional. That was entirely intentional. Hopefully Zach's not left confused. I think he doesn't really know the maps all that well. I mean, maybe he knows them well enough to be able to navigate to where we are, and it seems like he was, but he looked a little bit confused there. He was waiting for someone to lead him. But yeah. That Farcaster actually ended up working rather well. I don't know why. I must have been rather distracted and thought that a Farcaster was a Psychoserum. I do actually have Psychoserums. That's the ridiculous part about all this. But anyway, it worked out in the end. That is what is important. Anyway. Even at high rank, we're obviously shitting on this Kurapeko, or these Kurapekos at this point. But yeah, as far as getting a windscreen for my RE20, my microphone, I'm going to first and foremost see if I can get it locally. If I can't get it locally, I will have to buy it online, and unfortunately I can only really get it from China at the moment. And what that means is that it might take a few weeks for it to deliver. Literally the only thing that is going to affect the amount of time that's going to pass between now and the moment I can resume recording is how long it takes for me to actually get that windscreen for my microphone so that I can have it directly in front of my mouth. That's the only thing. My hope is that I can get it locally, which would mean that I can probably get it tomorrow. or even the day after, whatever. But if I have to get it shipped from China, by the looks of it, it could take, 2 to 3 weeks. I don't want that. But if it has to be that way, then so be it. I don't really know. I don't know what to expect. I'll have to look around for specialty audio stores that might carry windscreens with the appropriate size for my microphone. It does help that my microphone has been one of the standards in broadcasting for 40 years. So that definitely helps, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a store that's going to have one around. They might have to order it in as well, you understand. Which, you never know, might actually be faster than getting it shipped to me from China. It's just, sometimes it can wildly vary. It can give you an estimated time of like a month and then it comes in a week. That's the problem. You actually don't know, so you are taking a bit of a gamble every time. But anyway, I think that's going to conclude my update video. I don't really have anything to add outside of what I've just said. I will try to give a more in-depth explanation. I think there is probably a little bit of detail that I can add. When I am actually recording live, I will be doing that. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed. It feels good to be talking into a microphone while playing a game again. It's been like over a month. But I will bid you all farewell for now, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.